Attention, please. The Disneyland Limited now arriving from a trip around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by to board.
Your exit feet toward the front of the train and the front of the train only. Once again, please remain seated until the train reaches a full and complete stop. And welcome back to Main Street, USA.
Station, Main Street, USA.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard Holiday 5 on the Disneyland Railroad. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and please supervise all children. Smaller children must be seated away from the opening of the train or on the lap of an adult at all times. Our next stop is going to be New Orleans Square. Be your closest stop for all of Frontierland, Adventureland, Critter Country, New Orleans, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station, New Orleans Square.
We're now arriving at New Orleans Square. Please remain seated until the train reaches a full and complete stop. This will be your closest stop for the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Haunted Mansion Holiday, Pirates of the Caribbean, the World's Famous Jungle Cruise, Indiana Jones Adventure, Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and your closest stop to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Once again, folks, please remain seated until the train reaches a full and complete stop, and welcome to the Bayou.
I didn't recognize him for that. We're staying on the other side.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard Holiday 5 on the Disneyland Railroad. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and please supervise all children. Smaller children must be seated away from the opening of the train or on the lap of an adult at all times. Our next stop on the line is going to be Mickey's Toontown Depot.
Yeah, usually around 11:30. Yes.
red block light here for just a little bit longer. This means the train ahead of us has not safely reached its next station yet. Once we get that green light, we'll be ready to roll. In the meantime, sit back, relax. You could depart at any moment. Minnie's Runaway Railway and much more. Welcome aboard.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering the bayou, soon to be home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Princess Tiana swears there's magic out here. And wherever there's magic, there's bound to be surprises. Blue skies and sunshine guaranteed. Speaking of surprises, this place we're passing over is chock full of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and other beloved critters on a fun-filled adventure where anything can happen. As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman sharing his story with those in the Great River Valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams and the stories that went with them are pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable. Like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining dreams and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of freedom. Where she'll find a Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, an official train station for Mickey's Toontown, the cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown.
We're now arriving at Mickey's Toontown Depot. Please remain seated until the train reaches a full and complete stop. Here's folks to stop for all of Mickey's Toontown, including our newest attraction, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This stop here float and stop for all of Disneyland, including a Small World Holiday, Matterhorn bobsled, Starbase Line Canal Boat, Peter Pan's Flight, Dumbo the Flying Elephant, and our Tale of the Lion King show right here at the Disneyland Theater, which steps off in just about 10 minutes. Once again, folks, please remain seated until the trains reach a full and complete stop, and welcome to Toontown. Holiday 5 on the Disneyland Railroad. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and please supervise all children. Smaller children must be seated away from the opening of the train or on the lap of an adult at all times. Our next stop is the land of the future. We're headed to Tomorrowland.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain. We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star steamers, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail and us are the fun-filled roadways of the Autobahn. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
We're now arriving at Tomorrowland Station. Please remain seated until the train reaches Naples and complete stop. This will be your closest stop for Star Tours. The adventure continues. Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters, Astro Orbiter, Space Nap, Autopia, Frightening Needle Submarine Voyage, and your closest stop for Disneyland Monorail, which offers access to downtown Disney and the Disneyland Hotel. Once again, folks, please remain seated until the train reaches Naples and complete stop. And welcome to Tomorrowland, where there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of everything.
Around Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom, the Grand Canyon and Primeval.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome aboard Holiday 5 on the Disneyland Railroad. For your safety, please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train, and please supervise all children. Smaller children must be seated away from the opening of the train or on the left or middle at all times. Our next stop will be Main Street Station, but before we arrive at Main Street, a quick detour to the Grand Canyon and Primeval World. As we go through the tunnel up ahead, please keep in mind flash photography is prohibited. If you picked up any light-up toys here in the future, please ensure they are turned off.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado, mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop.
We're now returning to Main Street. Please remain seated until the train reaches a full and complete stop. This will be your closest stop for all the shops and restaurants on Main Street, as well as the main gate of Disneyland. So if you're looking to park hop, this is your stop. As a reminder, this station is stairs only, no ramps, so if you're traveling with a wheelchair or stroller, we recommend keeping it folded until you reach the bottom of the stairs. If this is your stop, we're going to have everyone toward the front of the train and the front of the train only. Once again, folks, please remain seated until the train reaches a full and complete stop, and welcome back to Main Street, USA.